UN002 donated $5. Congrats, Drama Monday, baby.
Ewan, thank you for the $5, and welcome to Drama Monday. Dare I say on a Monday? Although I guess this YouTube video is coming out on a Tuesday, huh? That kind of sucks. Or maybe even a Wednesday. I think we have a video for tomorrow. Hey, whenever this YouTube video comes out, YouTube frogs, pretend it's a Monday, because it's going to be good. I am going to be talking about Bean Dad. I don't know what it means. All I know is that you guys, about 7 months ago, started making a bunch of photos of me with beans. And so I feel a certain sentimentality to beans. And so when I saw this trending on Twitter, I thought, I got to find out more. I know nothing. I know nothing about Bean Dad. Bean Dad literally did Jew posting on Twitter. That's not a good start. Oh, that's not a good start, boys. Let's see what we got going on here. Bean Dad viral thread opens a Twitter can of worms. What a fucking title. Journalists creaming their jeans to do that kind of title. Seattle musician John Roderick tweeted about his daughter's struggles with a manual can opener, and the internet dished up plenty of opinions. Manual can openers aren't exactly intuitive. Over the New Year's weekend, Seattle musician and podcaster John Roderick discovered this when the gadget stumped his 9-year-old daughter. Roderick, founder of The Long Winters and one-time candidate for Seattle City Council, explained the events in a Twitter thread that has sparked plenty of online debate and earned the singer the nickname Bean Dad and Can Opener Dad. Roderick did not immediately respond to a request for comment. His Twitter account was deleted on Sunday afternoon after the internet furor had been raging for a full day. So yesterday my daughter was hungry and I was doing a jigsaw puzzle, as we are all wont to do. So I said over my shoulder, make some baked beans. Is this real? Is this real? Are you guys fucking with me? Because that doesn't sound... I've never been hungry and had someone tell me make some baked beans. She said, how? Like all kids do when they want you to do it. So I said, open a can and put it in a pot. Kids don't just say how when they want you to do something, by the way. A lot of times, and this is going to surprise you, kids have less experience doing things because they're literal children's. When you think about it, his daughter is 9. She's been alive for what, 35,000 days? And most of those days she was shitting her pants. Well, not most of them. For maybe a quarter of those days, she's just shitting her pants. So maybe understanding how to open a can of beans and put it in the pot is something that could be hard. The thread goes on to explain how Roderick told his daughter to study the parts, study the can, figure out what the can opener inventor was thinking when they tried to solve the problem. That's so funny. This is some Miyagi shit. Study the can opener. Can you imagine? Actually, give me a second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Don't leave. Don't leave. I got a can opener. I did it. I assume that he's talking about this. He told his daughter to study this, to look at it, to think. What was the inventor of the can opener thinking? I can't imagine being a 9-year-old and being hungry. Because here's the thing. I was just playing Bloons Tower Defense 6, one of my favorite games of all time, and I was hungry and I was mauling. I was getting a little tilty-wilted. And so if I was a hungry 9-year-old looking at this, I'd think, what the fuck? How do you open a can with this piece of shit? While his daughter figured out part of how the can opener worked, its clamping mechanism perplexed her, leading Roderick to say, sweetheart, neither of us will eat another bite today until we get into this can of beans. I'm sorry I'm laughing because this is child abuse. It just feels like a joke. This feels like performance art where the daughter is in on it and they're trying to like bamboozle the libcucks online. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just something about it. At this point, she said, I don't want baked beans, and marched off. Apocalypse Dad went into full The Road mode. And this is him tweeting. That's crazy. He's calling himself Apocalypse Dad. Sweetheart, neither of us will eat another bite today until we get into this can of beans. She screamed, Ugh! Long story short, Roderick's daughter tries for 6 hours on and off, and at one point telling her dad she hates him, but eventually figures out how to successfully clamp on the opener and remove the lid. But what might have stayed just a private family story turned into a much shared and commented on social media parenting drama, with thousands of people retweeting and commenting on Roderick's thread. Singer Dionne Warwick, on the other hand, tweeted that while she hasn't read it all, the Bean Dad thread looks like nonsense. I've got 3 young daughters sitting around not making me trend. Ungrateful, wrote one Twitter user. So let's test their problem solving by locking them in a room with a fire extinguisher bolted to the vaulted ceiling and setting a controlled burn. That's a funny tweet. That's good. The Bean Dad story just reminds me of a middle school math class where they tried to teach us the Pythagorean theorem by showing us the measurements of a bunch of triangles and saying notice anything. Like, excuse me for not being Pythagoras myself at 11 years old. Yeah, this is crazy. I can't imagine looking at this and figuring it out. And the fact that she did it after 6 hours? Power to this kid. If I was 9 and asked my dad for a snack and his first response was make baked beans, I'd be pissed. Yeah, this should have ended at the beginning. So this is how it should have gone. So yesterday, my daughter was hungry and I was doing a jigsaw puzzle. So I said over my shoulder, make some baked beans. Roderick wrote in the first line of the thread. She said, that's fucking cringe, Dad. Who the fuck eats baked beans as a snack, you turbo-verge loser weirdo? End of skit. You know what I mean? That's weird. That's where this story should have ended. If she was as smart as Pythagoras, she would have realized, Dad, you're a loser. I'm emancipating myself. These are funny. What is this tweet? Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody. It is sad, though, because kids have to trust their parents, right? They're children. Stanz, I learned how to use one 7 years ago, and I still get confused half the time I have to open a can. Yeah, and you probably didn't have someone yelling at you, someone you trusted, someone you loved. I figured it out because I saw my mom use it like 10 times before I even tried it. Yeah. Let's do a stream where we give a kid a kite and watch them discover electricity. That would be hype. How does anyone type a 22-tweet thread of this shit and think, yes, this is a good idea that people respond positively to? I can't believe it. That's the one good thing about the internet. So the internet is shitty, and the internet has radicalized a lot of people, but the internet has also outed those people, right? The people that feel like it's appropriate to tweet out child abuse or to tweet out, you know, their musings on race in America, we can point them out and say, hey, you're an idiot, or I don't want to talk to you, I don't like you, I want you out of here. Like this guy. People talk about canceling like it's a bad thing, and obviously you don't want to cancel people that didn't do the thing, but I'm happy canceling child abusers. I don't want a child abuser tweeting quips on Twitter. Fuck them. We need a vaccine so I can go fight Bean Dad. That's a good tweet too. Damn. Bean Dad denying his daughter a vaccine until she can accurately synthesize one herself. Damn, that's even better. Any good reason you couldn't open the can for her, let her eat, then teach her how to use a can opener? You've taught your daughter a lesson, but it's not the one you think it is. True. You should Bean Dad your dog with a key trying to figure out the door. That would be funny. Dogs are smart though. Dogs can figure shit out. Someday, Bean Dad is going to need her help with technology or end-of-life care, and she will have her revenge. True. He's going to ask her to fucking change his diaper. And she's going to say, well, you can figure this out. Kid, I want beans. This can has no ring pull. Dad, here's a can opener. Here's how it works. Low-key cool, right? Here's how you put it on the can. Off you go. Kid, opens can with minimal guidance. That was indeed low-key cool. Dad, let's make toast too. True. Your reaction to the Bean Dad is a great litmus test for whether you'll be confused or not when your kid stops talking to you someday. So true. Actually so true. I love this, wrote one Twitter user. I've been a children's therapist for 14 years. This is a story about love. The people saying it's abusive don't have context regarding junior JR/kid, so it looks bad on them and they're projecting their experience with shitty fathers. It's amazing how the more time you spend on the internet, the more children's therapists you meet. The more historians you meet. Do you know what I'm saying? It just feels like there's a lot of them out there when I don't think there's a lot of them. I think it might be people lying about what they are on the internet. I don't think this person is a children's therapist. And Jeopardy champion Ken Jennings, who co-hosts the podcast Omnibus with Roderick, he co-hosts a podcast with him, also spoke up. If this reassures anyone, I personally know John to be a loving and attentive dad who tells heightened 4FX stories about his own irascibility on like 10 podcasts a week. Twitter is so dumb. Oh, dangerous, Ken. I like you, Ken. I want you to be the next permanent co-host of host of Jeopardy. I don't want you to get in bed with this guy who posts bad things about Jews. This is nonsense. The kid knows she's not being punished or deprived of food. It was a good lesson. It's not like the girl went to bed without supper. Didn't he literally send her to bed without supper? Isn't that like the whole point of this? The best part about being ratioed by these parenting concern trolls is that they keep harping on how depriving my kid of baked beans for 6 hours is child abuse. Roderick wrote, 6 hours is the length of time between meals. Lunch at noon, dinner at 6. They're literally saying child abuse. I think this very clearly, this would only mean the child finished eating lunch and then immediately said, Dad, I'm hungry. And then he immediately said, make some baked beans. There's no world where that happened, right? Yeah, what if this was 5 hours and 59 minutes and he made her wait 6 hours, which would be a 12-hour wait? Making a kid wait 12 hours for food is very obviously child abuse. And this is somewhere in the middle, and this is very obviously, if a true story, child abuse. No, I don't eat post-lunch beans, but maybe I should start. That's the end of the story? What's happening with Roderick? Someone told me Roderick was a... How do I find out if Roderick was a... Bean Dad John Roderick deleted his Twitter account Sunday following an onslaught of brutal criticism about forcing his 9-year-old daughter to struggle for 6 hours to open a can of beans and the resurfacing of old anti-Semitic and homophobic tweets. Those two things should be so separate. You know what I mean? Hey, he did this thing with his daughter and some beans, and also 10 years ago, he tweeted about how Jews were scum. The fourth has been perverted by activist Jew judges and mud people apologists. The founders intended USA as a white homeland. Damn, that's not even a joke. What the hell? This is actually insane, right? This guy's, no, Roderick's not based. Roderick is a piece of shit. I'm afraid to search for this topic, Dave. It's funny. I don't know the entire story. It has something to do with a dad settling for what constitutes a bean. But there's also racism, misogyny, anti-Semitism, and Ken Jennings defending a guy who practices those such things. This does make me feel worse about Ken Jennings, who I like. I like Ken Jennings. I screwed up and I'm truly sorry. That would suck if Ken Jennings was like a Stormfront fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? Ken's response to the anti-Semitism was, John is usually pro-Israel in our podcast. That's super funny. Suffice to say, this Drama Monday had it all. Thank you all for joining me today on this Drama Monday. I'll see you next time, I guess.